Let me ask you your opinion on something. Does going off on somebody, getting super angry and giving people a piece of your mind indicate strength or not? Okay, admit it. Sometimes you just want to go the heck off on somebody. But in this video, I want to share with you why it's important to keep your peace, to stay calm, even when you're hurt, offended, wounded, or even angry. And you won't feel like you're being taken advantage of or that you're weak, because you're not. Keeping your peace is only for the strongest of us. I believe is actually a sign of your confidence in yourself, of your inner conviction, of your inner compass. And this video is going to give you a perspective that could very well change your mind and transform you into a cool cat. A woman or a man who is chill in even the most intense situations. And I invite you to watch this video all the way through, because near the end, I'm going to give you an exception to this. I'm Shannon Leah Burton, and I'm an energy healer, and I created this channel to help people move towards self-love. If you're working on maintaining positivity and trying to grow spiritually, the last thing that you probably want to do is react out of character because you're feeling anger or hurt. And the feelings that you have when you are offended or have been betrayed, they're very, very valid. Now, how do you feel when somebody apparently disregards your needs or your feelings? Not good, right? Of course, I know how you feel. And if anybody ever tells you that they've never been hurt or betrayed, or they portray that they're living a picture-perfect life where they never get upset, that's simply not true. It's just not true. So forget whatever you've seen on social media and that life is perfect. My understanding of this from spirit is that life brings you these opportunities to test your journey. God is always watching to see how your journey is going, and we need this because how do you know how you're doing in the subject if you never take an exam? This past week was crazy for me. I had a situation where I was left holding the bag. I assumed that because I looked out for someone that they would look out for me. And I continue to try to give people space to do the right thing as much as I can without jeopardizing myself. But still, some people will disappoint you. And when you get those smaller lessons, you know how to proceed. And yeah, I was annoyed, but I know where my money comes from, who the source of all is, and it's not from a house or a person or anything at the 3D level. My source is God, the Almighty. The great loving creator of the universe is where your abundance comes from too. So when you get irate and can't seem to find a positive way to look at things, you're showing that you don't completely trust where your protection and your abundance comes from. You are being shown by the divine that you're still carrying a limiting belief of lack. Eventually, you'll realize that each interaction that comes across as an offense is actually a test to test your growth. Are you still the same person who doesn't control themselves in the heat of the moment? If you realize that opportunities present themselves for you, conflict presents itself for you to have an opportunity to show the person that you've become. I'm telling you, you could even start to feel grateful for what you just learned about yourself, but you now know that you need to address through healing. And that awareness of the reality of what you're looking at, the reality of why the situation is here, can cause you to reflect, not to react. And then you can respond. And you can respond in a way that demonstrates your ability to be introspective on the situation. And the other thing is really, it's not productive in the long run. Like, what does it accomplish? So you told them, you got them told. But what's the benefit? That you showed them that you have respect for yourself, but you've also showed them that you can also be low vibration. In the Bible, it says, the light shined in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. And I love that verse because darkness cannot overtake the light, but light eliminates the darkness. So you don't ever have to be concerned when you're doing the right thing, when you are the light. that verse actually helped me get through a really hard time because it's just a law of physics. So don't lower yourself. Carry yourself with dignity that reflects your highest self, whatever that looks like. I'm not telling you what to say or whatever, but it's whatever represents the person that you want to be. And that's gonna be what makes you able to say, I did my best. I really did. I'm a good person with integrity. And that is always rewarded by the universe because God, the universe, sees everything. Nothing goes unnoticed. And here's the thing. You don't yet know what you're looking at. You don't. There's so much that remains hidden from us in the moment. You don't know what lessons are about to be learned. And if you're able to just be calm and keep your peace, the truth of the lesson will reveal itself. And you don't want to do any harm in the process. The universe is operating with a loving intelligence that we can hardly imagine. But how cool would it be to just have an inkling, a little bit of understanding of the purpose of our circumstance? It's way more fun to get this understanding versus stewing in anger. And I know this from experience. It is super easy to judge first. That's what we do. We judge our situation. And what we ought to do, though, is just take a step back. Think of the times that you messed up. Did somebody losing their mind and yelling and screaming at you make you straighten up and fly right? I mean, how much more beneficial of an outcome could you imagine if they had compassion for you in your own imperfection? That's the kind of benefit I want you to see here. If we're all one, can you have compassion for someone else? It won't happen right away if you're upset, but after you feel your feelings of anger or frustration or annoyed, just don't allow it to fester for too long. Step away and create a boundary if necessary, and do your best to reflect on the situation with compassion for yourself and the other person. This is the true sign of strength. Keeping your composure when you want to lose it. Going inside, staying grounded at your center is so grown, it's so adult. It's such a sign of maturity to not fly off the handle when you're offended. And the more you practice self-control, the more you lean into the strength and resolve it takes to stay calm because you know everything is going to work out for you. That is true resilience, true faith, and true strength. The last thing I want to share is that I'm not talking about allowing people to cross your boundaries or not having boundaries at all. I would really hope that you would still protect your boundaries, and when they're violated, you make decisions accordingly. And it doesn't have to be in anger or with like vitriol. You can make choices and decisions that are aligned with what you want in life. It's as simple as that. One of my favorite quotes is from Antonio Machado, and it goes, "Wanderer, wanderer, there is no path. The path is made by walking." And life is not a dress rehearsal. In every moment, we are creating our future. And we can use our energy in each moment to contribute more light to the world. And we can all outshine the darkness. So with that, I want to say, watch the next video to find out more about trusting yourself, because that's what it really comes down to.